Hello, I'm Ranjan Kumar, and this time I wanted to speak a little about my experience with success. And this word was so glorious for me, so beautiful for me, and it sounded like that, something to do with nirvana. And it's been 23 years since I have been in my quest of that eternal truth. And this truth, I should say, was shrouded in the form of a definition for success for close to 18 years. And that's exactly when I found that success has nothing to do with fulfillment. And I found that in fact we are as a crowd, as a population, we are so hypnotized with this word called success that everybody wants to be successful and everybody wants to make you successful. And yet I found that in spite of all the trainings, in spite of all the workshops, in spite of all the videos, in spite of all the lectures, in spite of all the books that we read, I found that success has nothing to do with fulfillment. And unless you have fulfillment, unless you feel fulfilled with whatever little success that you have achieved, no matter how big your success you think it is, it's going to make no difference in your life and how you feel about life or how you feel about yourself. And I found that in spite of all my big victories, I was not enjoying those victories. And I see hundreds of people today around me who are hugely successful, who are hugely rich, and probably consider themselves far superior to others in most aspects of life. Be it their job, be it their property, be it their skill, be it their knowledge, be it their language, n number of things. But I find that there is some hollowness within which speaks out. There is some hollowness within which tells that you are not fulfilled. And I found that was there in me too. And I found that, and I started realizing the difference between success and fulfillment. And that's exactly where I started distancing myself, or rather redefining my understanding of what success is and my understanding of my relation with success. And that's exactly where my trainings changed, my workshops changed, my writing changed, my thinking changed, and my very being changed. In fact all this happened because my experience of being changed. And there are a number of things which I had to redefine for myself to change my experience of life. And most of all, I should tell you the secret that it all happened in less than 3 years. And last 3 years have been the most beautiful years of my life, in spite of all the difficulties putting aside, in spite of all the tough times. Well, they have been the most toughest of the times of my life. And yet I'm so different that my experience of all that is different. And I've decided to share all that helped me realize the difference between success and fulfillment, and all that I have been doing in the last 23 years of my journey of personal transformation, which helped me understand that there is a difference between personal growth and personal transformation. And personal growth has been so misunderstood, might have been because of number of experts, the number of books, the number of videos that we are indulging, and we are drowning in, so much so that we have forgotten that fulfillment need not be so complex. Fulfillment need not be so tiring. Fulfillment need not be so exhausting that you forget the very purpose you started your life with, or you started your life for. Well, I did that. It happened to me, and in fact, not feeling guilty, but still I'm not trying to blame myself. But yes, I admit that there were a number of mistakes I made in my life. I realized very much later, because I was chasing success. And until I woke up to the fact that, well, what I was actually seeking was fulfillment and not success. And what made me realize, what made me come to terms with it, what made me understand the simplest formula to reach fulfillment, and how can we help ourselves, our family members, our loved ones, our friends, and our own society feel more fulfilled during these times. I felt that I should share my experiences of where I began, how I began, what all I did, what all I learned, and what all I implemented and executed in the last 23 years, and where I ended up because of a certain philosophy, and what helped me transform to where I am today, a completely fulfilled person who's experiencing that transformation which I began my journey of personal growth and transformation about 23 years ago for. And here I'm going to do it from 3rd of August to 28th of August in my 4-week transformation intensive. Well, if you're interested to join me, I would highly recommend join me, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy these 4 weeks of mega transformation camp. Join me, and I invite you to be with me for this mega transformation treat. See you there in the course.